You know the story. We've all seen it happen. A company pours a ton of money and time into a new product. It's packed with all these new features, and then it just, well, flops. The truth is, there's often this huge gap between what a company builds and what customers actually want. So today, we're going to break down exactly why that happens and lay out a clear, step-by-step way to fix it for good.
Okay, so let's just start with the big question right up front. Why do these products, loaded with features, fail to connect with people? I mean, shouldn't more always be better? We're constantly told that the product with the longest feature list is the one that wins. But when you look at what actually succeeds, that's often not the case at all. So let's peel back the layers here and figure out what's really going on.
The root of the problem usually starts with this fundamental disconnect. It's really a tale of two completely different perspectives. You have the world of the engineer, the person building the thing, and then you have the world of the customer, the person actually using it. The issue is they're often playing by two totally different sets of rules, and they measure quality in opposite ways.
And this is where that conflict really comes into focus. See, from an engineering point of view, excellence often means more features, tons of customization options, and just pushing for maximum technical capability. It's all about what is possible. But then you look at the customer. For them, quality is all about simplicity. It's about easy default settings that just work right out of the box. It's about getting practical, daily value with the absolute minimum amount of frustration. So one side is chasing what a product can do, while the other just wants what it should do, easily. This is the very definition of over-engineering. All right, so if that old way of thinking is broken, what's the fix? Well, it starts with a complete redesign of our philosophy. We have to shift our entire focus away from just adding features and instead zero in on delivering real value, on what truly, truly matters to the person using the product. The approach is actually surprisingly simple. You just break everything down into 3 buckets. First, you've got your must-haves. These are the absolute non-negotiables, the core reasons people bought your product in the first place, like accurate fitness tracking or great battery life. Second, and this part is so important, is the eliminate column. This is where you are ruthless. You get rid of the clutter, the hidden menus, the overly complex settings that just confuse people. And finally, you identify the delighters. These are those extra little things that provide unexpected joy, like a helpful voice assistant or some cool personalization. So once you do this, you're going to find yourself at a huge fork in the road. What's the right move? Do you build one super simple product that works for everyone? Or do you create a bunch of different products for different types of users? I mean, this feels like a massive make or break decision, right? But here's the secret. It's not really a choice between one or the other. It's a sequence. And getting the order of that sequence right, well, that changes everything.
Step 1, and this is where it all has to begin, is you have to master simplicity. Before you even think about doing anything else, you must build one core product that is incredibly easy to use and delivers on its main promise without a single flaw. This is your foundation. Get this wrong, and everything else crumbles. And the payoff for getting this right is massive for everybody involved. On the business side, you're going to see lower return rates, your customer support costs will go down, new users will get up to speed faster, and you'll get way better reviews. And for the customer, well, that's pretty obvious. The product is just a joy to use, there's less frustration, which leads to higher satisfaction and real trust in your brand. It is a true win-win scenario. Now, only after you've built that rock-solid, simple foundation, only then have you earned the right to move on to step 2, strategic segmentation. This is when you can start thinking about creating different versions or tiers of your product for different groups of people, all built on top of that strong, trusted core you already established. And when you do this at the right time, the rewards are pretty amazing. You can achieve even higher customer satisfaction because you're tailoring things to specific needs. You can reach a much wider market. And at the end of the day, you can unlock way more revenue. But I have to give you a huge warning here. If you jumped the gun and try to do this step too early, you're not innovating. You are creating an absolute mess. You'll end up with a confusing product line, a ton of complexity behind the scenes, and higher costs. You'll be right back where you started, only now with way more problems. You have to get the sequence right. So how do you make sure you stay on this path and keep making the right calls? The secret is to stop guessing what customers want and start knowing what they actually do. The future of great product innovation is all about letting customer actions be your guide. And this really boils down to understanding 2 different types of data.
On one hand, you have the voice of the customer. This is what people say they want in surveys or focus groups. It's all subjective opinions. But then you have behavioral data. This is what people actually do inside your product. Which features do they use every day? Where do they get stuck? What do they completely ignore? This is objective, factual data, and believe me, it is a much, much more reliable guide for innovation.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to this simple idea. Real innovation isn't about just piling on more stuff. It's about perfecting the core experience. It means having a laser focus on simplicity and ruthlessly fighting against the kind of complexity that just gets in your user's way. So I'll leave you with this one thought. The next time you're about to add a new thing to your product, just stop for a second and ask yourself this question. Are you building something that will genuinely delight your customers by making their life easier? Or are you just adding another feature to a long list? Because the answer to that question will probably determine your success.